At 18 minutes past 12, and a wet start to the day here in the northwest. And winds are going to increase, as we know, through the afternoon, becoming strong then this evening. And there's an orange weather warning coming in for the northwest, and that is from 6 o'clock. So, Alan O'Reilly from Carlow Weather joins us now. Alan, a second big storm in a matter of days. What direction is this one coming from?
It's pretty similar actually to Isha, the last storm. So it's out to the west. It's going to track to the northwest, the centre of the storm between Ireland and Iceland. But it's quite a big storm. It's got a large kind of outer band and large wind field. So that heavy rain is from the outer bands of Storm Jocelyn. But the winds are really starting to pick up now, and they'll really get going in the next few hours. And then the worst of the winds will hit the west and the northwest after 6 o'clock, when that orange warning comes into effect. Now, the orange warning says in effect until 2 a.m., but probably the worst of the winds are going to be between 6 and probably midnight. But it is going to gust again over possibly 110 kilometres an hour. So you're looking at, I suppose, problems on top of problems for those areas that have still no power, which is a lot of areas obviously in the west and the northwest. And anything that's been weakened, any trees, anything maybe that's hanging on or people haven't noticed maybe is damaged, then Jocelyn's going to come around and probably give it its final blow in some cases, which is obviously not going to help matters. The rain will ease off. There will be still showers, but the heaviest of the rain will clear through the afternoon. So the rain will be less of a problem this evening. It's mainly the wind.
It's hard to be precise about these things, but you'd be hoping that Jocelyn just won't be quite as powerful as Isha.
Yeah, no, it won't be as powerful in terms of peak wind speeds and wind gusts, but it's still, comparing it to Isha is probably kind of comparing it to the worst storm we've had in the last year. So in its own right, Jocelyn will be a significant enough storm, but no, compared to what has gone, we won't be seeing the gusts of over 130 kilometres an hour, most likely. Maybe getting near to some of that on the very exposed coast. But the weather models don't show the same level of winds. I mean, they fairly clearly showed the red level winds in the northwest for Isha, but they're not showing this for Jocelyn. But as I say, it's still a significant enough storm in its own right.
Why so many storms this season? Is there something bigger at play? Is it down to global warming, or is it just one of them things?
Yeah, look, it's a bit one of those things, but certainly climate change is playing a part in terms of the intensity of the storms and the amount of moisture that they're holding. But we have seen a lot of storms in the past. I think it was 2016 we got as far as K. So we have seen that in the past, but we were very lucky last year. We didn't get our first named storm until August. So it's kind of just weather being weather, and then on a little bit extra oomph, I suppose, from climate change in terms of the velocity and the power of these storms. The jet stream has been powering them up, and the jet stream really is coming right over us again, which is that conveyor belt of storms. And then the really cold weather in the North America, that intensifies the power of the jet stream, which powers up these storms. But we do look to see a bit of a break coming early days of next week, because the jet stream looks to be moving more north of us. But we do have unsettled weather and a bit cooler weather coming up. So it hasn't been nice. And I think certainly the cold weather had its challenges, but it's a lot easier to get out and about under blue skies and frosty weather than it is under this kind of wind. I know obviously you had snow in the northwest when most of us down the rest of the country was dry, and obviously that melted snow on top of the heavy rain yesterday has risen river levels quite high again. So we don't see as much rain from this storm, but obviously any rainfall falling on top of flooded areas can cause problems.
And as you've mentioned already, what could cause problems this time around is trees and structures that have already been weakened by Isha.
Yeah, that's it exactly. A friend of mine in the West Coast in Clare, a tree just came down on his power line in the last half hour, and he said the tree had stayed during Isha, but now it's come down, but it may well have been weakened by Isha. So that's exactly what you're going to see. And obviously the ESB crews have been doing formidable work. I mean, absolutely unbelievable to get back over 170,000 people reconnected, but they're going to be hampered as well during this weather, because obviously they can only work when it's safe to do so. So that's going to obviously add delays. And as they say, It's not particularly cold, but it's not particularly warm. So, houses start to get cold pretty quickly when you don't have a heating on for 2 days. So,
Yeah.
I suppose maybe just check in on the elderly and the vulnerable if you're in an area that has no power, because make sure that people are able to stay warm.
All right. Well, listen, thanks to Manion for taking a wee bit of time out and giving us that update, Alan. Appreciate it. Look after
No problem.
yourself.
Take care.